Continuing on the subject of drought, we're talking now with Dr. Liberty Galvin, our OSU Extension weed scientist. And Liberty, you're getting a lot of questions about herbicide application as it relates to drought and all the things happening this time of year.
Yes, so drought has impacted everybody across the state, and drought can really have an influence on the types of weeds that we see in the field. So a lot of our bromus species, or commonly referred to as cheatgrass, those species love dry, hot conditions. But then on the other hand, our Italian ryegrass, which these two are the most common in wheat, our Italian ryegrass, they prefer a little bit more moisture. So if the drought continues, I expect to see a lot more bromes come up. But if we get any moisture, probably all the bromes, all the Italian ryegrass, and all the other weeds are going to come up all together because we've had such a warm last couple of months.
So they're just kind of ready and waiting for a little bit of moisture is what you're saying.
Yes, like in the shadows, ready to pop up when we least want them to.
Surprise everyone. So with that challenge that you just talked about, along with where the wheat is at this growing stage this time of year, what kind of situation do we have, and what kind of guidance can you give producers? Kind of explain everything that's happening right now.
Yeah, so you know, when it gets so warm and we don't have any of those late freezes, the growth of the wheat really it goes very quickly compared to when we have cooler springs. Dr. Amanda Silva has reports from across the state that many wheat crops are already at hollow stem. Hollow stem is when the grain starts to develop in the stem and will start to grow up the stem. That's a very sensitive time in the wheat's life stage. Shortly after hollow stem, you're going to find jointing, the jointing phase. Now, when herbicides are applied after the jointing phase, you're going to see a lot more crop injury. So if the wheat was growing a little slower, we might have more time to think about our herbicide applications. But because Dr. Silva is seeing all of these hollow stem, jointing is coming really, really quickly after that. And so we need to be prepared to put any post-emergent chemicals down in the field.
So really, as we're heading toward the end of March, we have what, a couple weeks, if that?
A couple weeks is always what we hope for, but there's a difference across the state in planting times. So there were some folks that were able to get their wheat planted in September, maybe even earlier. We had some rain shortly after that, and so they may have a very dense wheat crop like what we see behind us. In the event that you have a very dense crop, you'll probably have fewer late spring flushes of weeds because that canopy is so dense and the roots are also dense that weed just has a hard time germinating and emerging through a crop. However, some people did not get that good rain after planting. And so some folks, like our wheat taps field over in Perkins, that wheat is very, very tiny. And there's a lot of just like open, bare ground in the field. Now, if you have a crop that looks like this, you're in great shape, but you'll probably need to apply pretty soon to really reduce any crop injury after that jointing phase. Most of the products that are going to go into a field like this are probably your group 1, your group 2. So if you're growing a clear field variety or a coaxium variety, now is probably the time to get out and spray those products on those traded crops. If you have a lot of bare ground, there are other options. So products like pyroxasulfone, which is Zidua, that can get applied to the bare ground, and it's meant to reduce the weeds germinating and emerging through the soil. So it actually catches them upon emergence. Those products are very tricky because they can also cause crop injury if the crop is drought stressed. And so there's all these factors that really have to be considered when you're making herbicide applications and there's droughty conditions.
You know what it reminds me a little of? Parenting. raising
If
a
this,
child,
then that, yeah.
raising a wheat crop, like which decision is best for today at this moment in time. Is that
Yes.
kind of accurate?
Yes, yes, and it's very tricky, and there's a lot of different factors, and it could rain tomorrow. You know, the attitude could change, the environment could shift.
Well, Dr. Galvin, thanks a lot for looking into this with us, and
Yeah.
obviously we hope that it rains sometime soon to alleviate some of these conditions that we've been talking about.
Yeah, we can only hope.
Okay, thanks a lot. We'll see you again soon.
Thank you too.